Hey YouTube. I know it has been a very long time since I have last posted a video, and I'm so sorry. So much has happened. Um, so let me think where to even begin. I know last time I spoke to everybody, I was looking for a new endocrinologist, and I found one. I am currently seeing Dr. Griffin at Boston IVF in Newburgh, Indiana. And I had my first appointment with him the 10th, so whenever that is, last week or something like that, February 10th. And he wanted me to go straight to IVF because I've basically exhausted all of their options, and it's just time. It's just time to do IVF. So because I am very sensitive in terms of my ovaries, we have decided to go ahead and start with injections, then an IUI, instead of going straight into IVF, so that I can see how well I respond to the injection medication, so that I don't overstimulate myself. So basically, that's the plan. He is wanting me to do a salinohistogram, use saline to make sure that I have no polyps or cysts or anything else, like any kind of abnormal growth inside of my uterus. That way, if I do get pregnant, it's mainly for IVF, so that when they inject the embryo, nothing's going to interfere with it actually implanting. So that is basically what he's wanting to do. So I am waiting to start my period right now. Last month, I started on my own, surprisingly, and I was completely shocked. I had no idea that I had even ovulated, and I started my period, and, well, they went ahead and took my blood while I was there the 10th to make sure that I wasn't pregnant, so I could go ahead and use Provera to start my period so we could get the ball rolling. Well, it turns out I actually ovulated. I know before, in one of my other videos, when I was taking Femara, I had ovulated, and my progesterone level was somewhere in like the 60s or the 70s. It was very, very high, and I wasn't pregnant. So I typically can have anywhere from 15 to all the way to 60, or I think maybe it was even 90 was the highest I've ever had in terms of ovulation. Well, this was a cycle on my own. I ovulated on my own with no medication, and my progesterone level was only an 8, which is definitely on the extreme low side, but he reviewed it and he determined, yes, I definitely did ovulate according to him, so he's expecting my menstrual period to start within 10 days. We did a pregnancy test as well, and my HCG level was 1.8, so not pregnant. Well, basically now it's a waiting game. My insurance that I switched over to is Cigna, and they're very, very picky about how they treat infertility. I have to go through a pre-certification like most insurances do, but theirs is kind of extensive. So we're kind of just waiting to see what happens first. When I do start my period, if I don't in 10 days, I call back. And before he'll give me Provera, he wants to do another blood work and make sure that I'm for sure not pregnant, and that my progesterone levels are in fact decreasing. And if so, we'll do the Provera. On cycle day 1, I call, and we will, if my cycle's not already approved, then we're just going to go ahead and do my testing. So they're wanting to do like a basic STD panel again, just to have one up to date. And the salinohistogram they're wanting to do. And I think that's all they're wanting to do on me before I actually do my cycle. Now, if it's not approved by day 5 of my cycle, it's basically going to be a wasted cycle. I'm hoping that I can talk them into just giving me like Femara or something so that I can at least try. But the thing about me actually trying naturally anymore is my endometriosis is getting worse. I had recently tried to have sex, and I didn't make it more than like insertion, to be honest with you. It was very, very painful. I was crying, I was shaking, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit. I couldn't breathe barely. I could not speak. I was stuttering. I couldn't get any words. I was repeating myself. I was in the most pain I've ever been in my entire life. No blood, no nothing like that. But I was in pain for 2 days after that. So with that being said, timed intercourse is not going to work for us. It's just not going to happen. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just go ahead and have the surgery to get rid of the endometriosis? Well, if I'm going to have surgery, if I'm going to be put under for something, might as well be egg retrieval. Because when you get pregnant, it will remove that endometriosis because your uterus will stretch. So, and the progesterone will, the high enough progesterone levels will get rid of it, is what I was told, something along those lines. So in my head, I'm thinking, why would I want to do surgery twice? So, and if I actually did have surgery for endometriosis, the issue with that is I would have a recovery time. You know, it would be like a whole nother cycle, so I'd be wasting more time. Not like I'm not wasting it right now, but I don't know. I just feel like I just don't want to go, sorry, I sneezed. I don't want to go and try. I just don't want to have the surgery. I just don't want to be put under twice, to be honest with you. I've never been put under. I'm very, very, very scared to do so. And I promised myself that if there's one thing that I'm going to do, and there's one reason that I'll ever be put under other than something that's life-threatening, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be to get pregnant, to have a baby. That's what I promised myself, so that's what's going to happen. So that's kind of what we're waiting on, everybody. I know that we're waiting on the certification, which can take a couple weeks, and we're waiting for me to start, which could also take a couple weeks. So I'm hoping that the timing is perfect. But I did pick up my information on what injections I'll be taking. So let me go get that. I'm not really sure when that cut off because it paused on me in the middle of me talking, and I don't know where I was at with it. So if I stop it, it's kind of gonna delete everything that I've just talked about for the last 8 minutes. So I'm kind of just gonna roll with it and hope that you guys figured out everything. But basically, I'm finally getting the ball rolling. We are doing what we need to do. It's not, incredible news, but I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks I will at least start a period and get some testing done. And the moment that I figure out that I get my pre-authorization for my cycle, then I will definitely post more videos, especially when I actually get into this cycle during my test, my saline sonography or whatever it's called. The moment that goes down and we actually delve deeper into my cycle, I will be sure to keep blogging as much as I used to. It's just nothing's been happening for the last 6 months. I just kind of been doing nothing. So when I actually start doing my injections daily and going through all my testing and my appointments that I'll be up there every couple days, I will show you guys more and we'll go through it together. I know that I do have people who have stayed with me since the very beginning, so I appreciate that so much. I've just been so busy. I started my job back again, and along with working and everything else, it's just been crazy. But my husband's home with food, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll let you know as soon as I know something else.